I have no idea what this segment is called. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm driving to work. That's what I'm doing. I'm driving to work. Yeah. I don't know. It says sometimes that I'm putting too much content up. Yet other times it tells me that this amount of content is perfect for my channel. I've lost a few subscribers recently. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on. I gotta keep reminding myself I didn't start doing this channel to get subscribers or to have people watch the channel and all. It was purely for me to be able to store videos and ideas and thoughts online, so I didn't have to keep it all on my phone. And I wanted to be able to show my son that as a consumer on YouTube, they could be making something that people would watch too. They didn't have to just watch what other people made. So I got them making stuff for a little while. Ethan's still got a channel, but he hardly posts to it. I think, unlike me and just creating content daily, Ethan is looking to try to do something that's a little more intense than that. He and his friends have written out an entire script, and they're creating scenes and stuff right now and storing everything and asking me to help them edit it. So I guess I have rubbed off a little bit on the kids. So that's good. That's awesome. That's positive. And I like being a positive role model as a father. Alright. Trying to drive here because I still need to get my butt to work so I can pay to do all the crap that I do in my life that isn't free. Anyway, let's just talk. I'm going to start talking about stories from my childhood because, you know, why not? I've got nothing scripted. I don't have a plan for today. I'm not looking to try to, like, do something. It's just making more content. Alright, so let's tell you a little story. I was probably around 10 years old, might have been 11. And my father and mother decided, we want to get out of the rat race. We're going to move to northern Vermont. We lived in this city in northern Rhode Island called Woonsocket. And my mom and dad said, okay, so we're going to start taking weekends and going on ski trips and stuff, and we're going to go to New Hampshire, and we're going to go to Vermont, and we're just going to look at places. Every week we'll go on a trip, and when we're up there, we'll look at houses until we find the right place. It was sometime in early '91. We went up to this town called Montgomery, my father and I, and we stayed in, I think it's called Grandpa Grunt's Lodge in Montgomery, Vermont. And the local realtor took us up to go see this farmhouse up on one of the mountain roads in the town. My dad and I went and looked at it. We thought it was pretty cool. Told my parents, told my mom about it when we got back. And we all went up and looked at it. And that's when they put a deposit down on it. Realizing they were moving to Vermont, and my father had to afford a Econoline E150 van, so it's like a 1983 or something like that, I think, at the time. And then they also had a 1967 Ford Mustang, and I believe my mom's was driving a 1984 Mercury Grand Marquis station wagon, Colony Park package with the wood panels on the side and the suicide seats in the rear. Wicked gar. They don't make anything like that anymore. I miss station wagons. None of this stupid SUV crap. Station wagon. Like real station wagons. I miss those. God, I would love a station wagon. Anyway, my dad realized, we're moving to Vermont and they get snow. We done got no way to get rid of snow with a van and a Mustang. So my dad's friend, John, happened to have this really cool antique truck. Sold it to my father with a Fisher plow on the front of it. 6 foot, 8 foot plow, I don't remember. It's probably a 6 footer because the truck wasn't really a truck. We're So let's get at that, because that's the point that I was trying to make, because I love this vehicle. So is the car, vehicle, truck I learned to drive on. I learned how to drive a manual on this vehicle. I was 12 years old. I learned how to drive on an International Harvester Scout 2. Yeah, buddy. That thing had torque. Like, torque was just, whatever. I got plenty. I don't need it anymore. That's what that thing would say. Tie it to a tree, put it in first gear, creeper gear, first gear. It was a 3-speed manual with reverse. But first gear was pretty much useless. So technically speaking, that vehicle was a 2-speed. First gear is a creeper gear in an International Harvester Scout 2. If you're not aware of that, first gear, you can put it in most international transmissions. Let the clutch out without touching the gas pedal, fuel pedal, the accelerator, whatever you want to call it, and the vehicle goes chunk, 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 and takes off. That's how they were designed. And I learned how to drive on one of those. You could easily put that thing in second gear and tap the accelerator pedal and ease out the clutch and drive it like a normal car. Problem is, it topped out at 55 miles an hour. So you can't really take it on the highway. And when I say top out at 55 miles an hour, I mean you're in third gear and you're screaming at about 3,000 RPM. Yeah, buddy. So that thing drove around 40 at a max. That was comfortable. You wouldn't feel like you're going to blow up the damn motor. 35, 40 miles an hour. Okay, so we drove that thing from Smithfield, Rhode Island to Montgomery, Vermont. Okay? This is like, my dad might have to chime in someplace here. I want to say that's around 196 miles. It's like 200 miles, basically, and a vehicle that can't go over 40 miles an hour. Dad and I had a very long trip. It was so much fun. I'll never forget those memories. Thank you, Dad, for inviting me and bringing me along. That was epic. That was a road trip that I would love to recreate with my child. Ethan has no understanding of what those kind of experiences are. Having to show up someplace with a toolbox in order to get the vehicle working, and then drive that vehicle 200 miles and make sure it gets to where you're going, with the tools in the back to get it started again in case it dies. It's a different lifestyle than when you just pull over to the side of the road, call AAA, and they show up and they take care of everything for you and give you coffee. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. The world is a different place than I remember. Things are completely different than I remember. The way things happen are completely different than I remember. But none of you really care about the fact that I'm old and that I've seen things that you haven't, and I've had experiences that no one else will. But because of some of those things that have happened, that knowledge that I now have attained, I think I make different choices based on all of the things that I've accumulated in my life to help me make things a little bit more entertaining and fun. At the same time as trying to not necessarily put myself into a situation that's going to make everyone else uncomfortable. I have been known to do things like that. I have a rather strange, awkward sense of humor. So, as many of you may have ascertained by watching my videos and such, that I like slapstick. I like the lowest common denominator type of comedy sometimes. And I find funniness, I find humor, I find entertainment, and I find comedic relief all around me every day. So, even things like political satire. Now, I don't care, Democrat or Republican. I don't care who the sitting president is. I would throw as many jokes at Biden as I will Trump. The fact that he's the center of attention right now is the reason we're throwing jokes at him, not because of who he is or anything more than that. It's making light of the fact that he is the most popular person in the United States right now, even if he's not the most popular person in the United States right now. Everyone knows who he is. It'd be like me walking into a room and saying, Bill Gates, Bill Gates, Bill Gates, and someone going, who's Bill Gates? Well, if you're over the age of, like, let's say 35 years old and you don't know who Bill Gates is, what do you, just like Trump or any old name. I mean, people who are like 12 and 13 years old know who those people are. It's just how it is. Everybody knows that name. So being able to poke fun at the name, poking fun at the family, is entertainment for a large audience. It's got nothing to do with political stuff. At least on my channel. If you hear me saying things, it's probably just because I find it funny. Hands down. Some of the things aren't really like, I don't know what the word is to say, how to describe it, because like, there are things that I find funny that other people find offensive. Like, I love Cat Williams. I think Cat Williams is a hysterical man. He's hysterical. He's a comedian that takes this and uses it. Now, I am not his demographic. I am by no means somebody that Cat Williams would see in his audience and not go, who's that motherfucking white dude? Pimp! No, that's probably not going to happen, because I don't think I would go to a Cat Williams show, because I'd probably get called out. But I'll listen to it because I find him hysterical. The dude is seriously funny because he's an actual comedian. He takes satire from life. And I would end up as part of his set if I was there. Probably because I would be the only white dude in the entire fucking audience. But it's things like that that I think are what makes some people confused by me, because then I come off and I say things like, well, I'm a progressive. I believe in social equality amongst everybody. I don't want to consider myself a Democrat. I don't want to consider myself an independent. And I don't want to describe myself as a Republican either. I'm none of those. See, I have opinions of my own, and they have agendas. And I don't support agendas, especially when they're going to hide it from me and not tell me what their plans are. No, I'm not giving you money, and I'm not giving you support for you to just blankly go and do whatever the fuck you want to do. This isn't licensed to give people the ability to fuck other people over based on them giving you something. No. These are people who are put in positions of power because I don't have the fucking time to be there. So you speak for me, because I pay you to go there and speak on my behalf, because I don't have the time to do it myself. That doesn't mean that I don't have feelings and emotions towards these things. It means that I don't have the ability to be there to do something about it and continue on with my life. I don't think I'm very unique in this feeling. This is the whole purpose of our country. We hire representatives to represent us in the way that they tell us they're going to represent us and not lie to us. Now, I don't want to be political, like I said. So this is why I'm saying this stuff, is I'm trying to let people know that just because you may hear me say something that doesn't sound in line with the current administration, it doesn't mean that I am anti-American. It means that I don't agree with their opinion, or I don't agree with their policies. That's all that means. I feel the same way about some shit that Barack Obama did and Joe Biden, and a lot of stuff that Bill Clinton did, but I wasn't old enough to fucking vote yet. So, while I may usually vote Democrat, because a lot of times they have more socially acceptable policies,